Hey guys, this is Rain Raider here, and for this video, I'm going to go over the matches that occurred in Week 1 of the DKR Racing All Trophy Races Tournament for 2019. And for the next 5 to 6 weeks, I'm going to provide weekly updates for the tournament on Sunday nights or Monday mornings. I'm going to stream the data on one of those days and make a quick video on it afterwards and share it with the Discord. So let's begin. This week, 10 of the 22 players have played in 6 matches. So let's go over that. Well, actually, there were 7, but the 7th match did not occur, and that was with Giz versus Psychedelic. So Giz will now get 2 no reset runs that he can play at any time within the 3-week window for pools. And the second match, or I guess technically the first match that occurs, is Sweener Dog versus Mad Scientist. And in that run, Sweener went for a really crazy Dark Moon Caverns out of bounds, but unfortunately he missed it and had to do a whole lap over again. So he lost 40 seconds to that run, unfortunately, but he still won. The next one we have Rain Raider versus Prof. Polly, which would be myself. The one issue that went with that run is my console froze at Frosty Village, so I effectively had to do Snowflake Mountain twice. But I still ended up winning in the end. The next one is myself versus Bando, and in a close match, I managed to clutch the win, now taking the first seed in my pool. And Pigs versus Mad Scientist. Pigs, although wanting a better performance, still wasn't far from her 27:10 PB, so it's looking like she will get a sub-27 run in one of her matches soon. And we have Atomic Otaku versus Halul. Both players got a time within a minute of their PBs. Halul has a 25:44 and Atomic Otaku has a 28:55, so I would say it was pretty good runs from both of you. Good job. And we have Trident Tail versus Dr. Fish, and Trident gets the first sub-25 run of the tournament, so congrats there, Trident. We will see if he improves his current best run, so the best run of the tournament so far. But other players will be playing this week that are at his level or higher, so we'll see if they'll break 24:53. And Fish has been improving lots and was able to get a sub-30 run. His ATR PB is now at a 3rd seed level with a time of 28:47, but he's not a 3rd seed yet. If he gets the upset over Blue Sox, then he will be considered a 3rd seed. But yeah, keep training. So that's done with the matches for this week. On the left side, I have some data for the best performances in each of the ILs by seed. So, but before we get to it, just some notes here. The times may be inaccurate, the seeds can change in event of upsets, and the data presented was gathered July 21st, so as of this video, that would be yesterday. And the data will have inaccuracies with the potentials of each seed, so once all the players have done their runs, we're going to have more accurate data representing the seeds. So starting in Ancient Lake, it's an easy course in runs. Most players can play this track at a pretty fast level competitively, so you're not going to see large differences in times in the seeds here. Next we have Fossil Canyon. Tricky course to play, and there's a large gap between high seeds and low seeds. And mostly that comes from the ability of whether or not you can get the canyon lists at the end of the track. So now we have Jungle Falls. It's a short but technical track. Lots of little things to learn if you want fast times here, so that is likely the reason behind the skill gap here. Hot Top Volcano, and I know this features the first plane course in the game as well as the first out-of-bounds course. So, and in plane courses generally, you're going to see the greatest time gaps between high and low seeds. But for this plane course, all seats went for the out of bounds, which is great. But from that point on, the differences in time come from how well you can navigate the out of bounds well and not making too many unnecessary movements. And then after the first plane track, we are introduced to the first hover track in the game. And now hover in general is quite difficult to master because snaking motion requires a lot of practice to kind of understand how it works. And also, understanding how to get the most out of boosts in hover is also quite tricky, so you will need to practice a lot if you want to get good at hover here. So you will see some slight gaps in time between the high and low seats here. Pirate Lagoon, same idea as Whale Bay, but it's just a harder track, so you'll see a greater time disparity between the seats. And the world record here is quite good, so we're not likely to see a run close to the world record here. Crescent Island's a relatively easy track. There's no blue balloons in it, so you're not going to see great differences in skill here. Treasure Caves, skill gap will appear in this track mainly because getting a very good time here requires a lot of luck and some skill to pull off, but by far it's the most inconsistent kart track in the game. Everfrost Peak, is this the first inbounds playing course of ATR? There is no out of bounds for this one, and it's really hard to get fast times here as you need to learn not to rely on the A button to get you moving here. It's just mostly timing your barrel rolls right. And it is also a guarantee we're not going to see a run here close to the world record. The strat that was used here is almost impossible to replicate in a run, but by some miracle, if it could happen, it'd be quite a performance to see. Walrus Cove is a long and difficult kart course, so you're going to see gaps in times from the high seed to world record, as well as from the low seed to high seed. Snowball Valley. It's a short course, but similar to Jungle Falls, but it is more difficult and therefore more inconsistent. Frosty Village, it's a moderately difficult course. Getting good speed off zippers is what's going to get you good times here, but aside from that, it's not too difficult to navigate. Boulder Canyon, in my opinion, the toughest hover track in runs. Chaining blue balloons and zippers is a must to get good times here, and pulling that off is quite difficult. Greenwood Village, similar in difficulty compared to its icy counterpart Frosty Village, but this course is particular for seeing the green balloon items, so the oil spills, mine balls, in some cases bubbles. So it's hard to get a consistent time here. And Windmill Plains. By a landslide, it is here you will see the greatest time disparity between the seeds. This course features the hardest out of bounds in the run, both entering it and navigating it. About half the players in this tourney will attempt it. Doing this course inbounds will effectively make this track the longest plane track in your run. Then we have Haunted Woods, a wildly difficult course, easy to bash into walls going at high speeds here, yet there is no blue balloon here. Despite its difficulty, a lot of players like this track. Note that all seats here are 3 seconds apart, so that's pretty interesting. So next we have Space Dust Alley, and considered by many the hardest track in the game. Going fast here is awfully risky, and it's impossible to be consistent here. Players mostly just hope that they will get a great run here, so if you start your run at Dino Domain, yeah, you're just going to hope for something great. Not much else you can do there. And Dark Moon Caverns, the longest and perhaps most difficult kart track in the game. Getting good at this course requires you to max out your skill in making clean, sharp turns and drifts. So here you will see the greatest gaps in time for kart performance. Now for Star City, it's another tough car course. A lot of zigzag turns and sharp turns you have to make here. And congrats to Swainer for getting a new PB here after his Darkman Caverns incident. That 110 might be the fastest anyone does in this tournament because it is pretty close to world record. And next we have Spaceport Alpha. And similar to Hot Top Volcano, but more difficult. And again, all seeds had went for the out of bounds here, so that's really good because this is more difficult than Hot Top Volcano by a fair margin, I'd say. And then we have the ATR runs. We're going to compare those by seed as well. And we're most likely going to see that the top 2 seeds and the 2 bottom seeds are going to share similar times because they both feature players of similar skill levels in the seeds. So, and I'll also predict that the first seed will get a sub 24-20 run in week 2 because we have a lot of the top players playing this week. So we'll see how that shapes out to be. And just some final thoughts. If you really want to improve your skill in this game, I really suggest doing time trials. Players like Peaks the Prez and Dr. Fish have shown massive improvements in ATR skill after putting in lots of time towards time trials. So for week 2, there's already 8 matches registered and likely more to come. Stay tuned for next week as there will be much more to talk about. Good luck in all your race players and may you put on a great showing.